Welcome to today's explainer. Listen, whether you're sitting for 0417, 0478, 2210, 9618, or specifically Information Technology 9626, I need you to realize something absolutely crucial. There is no paper. There are only patterns. Today, we're going to learn how to see the code behind every single question, specifically focusing on Topic 19.1 Layout Tools. Now, I want you to picture two students we see all the time. Let's call them Alex and Sam. Now, Alex overloads his exam paper with raw IT facts but provides literally zero analysis. And Sam? Well, Sam just rushes through the practical tasks and completely misses the specific command word requirements. Both of them are bleeding marks, right? But we are going to transform those flawed patterns by structuring our approach today. We're going to decode the matrix of this exam.
15. I really want that number to sink in for a second. 15%. According to the actual examiner reports, Topic 19.1, Layout Tools, which means your systematic use of rulers, grids, guidelines, and snapping, accounts for a massive 15% of the total marks in Paper 2. Think about that. 15% of your entire grade relies on a topic that, honestly, so many students just gloss over because they think it's just, aimlessly dragging a few lines around on a screen. But it's not. There's a hidden code to getting these marks, and we're going to dig into exactly what the examiners are actually looking for.
Okay, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll cover core principles. Second, we'll break down the processing sequence. And finally, we'll expose the examiner traps. Let's jump right in.
Section 1, Core Principles. Let's decode what examiners actually expect from you.
Before we continue, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. Okay, so let's define our terms. Topic 19.1, Layout Tools, is strictly defined as the systematic use of rulers, grids, guidelines, and snapping to ensure precise alignment and professional presentation. You hear that word, systematic? That is the magic word. That is what separates a top-tier student from someone like Alex who just drops visual elements onto a page and hopes for the best. It's not random. Rulers are there to measure strictly. Grids establish a rock-solid, consistent layout structure. Guidelines are pulled in to align specific independent elements perfectly. And snapping? Snapping is what ensures pixel-perfect precision without you having to just guess or eyeball it. It's a completely systematic framework.
Now, look at this quote, straight out of the principal examiner reports. This is literally an insider secret. It says, candidates referencing cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks. What does that actually mean for you? It means you absolutely cannot isolate layout tools from the rest of the syllabus. The whole conceptual framework of computer science draws on systematic analysis and evidence-based reasoning. So when you're turning on a grid, you need to be asking yourself, how does this grid affect the user interface? How does it impact the corporate house styling? See, it's all about having a connected conceptual understanding that you can transfer to completely unfamiliar scenarios.
To really nail those cross-topic connections, you need to master the 3 cognitive domains that these assessment objectives target: knowledge, application, and analysis. Knowledge is the baseline, just knowing what a guideline actually is. Application is the practical step, physically dragging that guideline out to exactly the 5-centimeter mark on your digital canvas. But analysis? Oh, analysis is where the real magic happens, guys. Analysis is your ability to evaluate why that specific guideline makes the document more effective for the target audience. This is where you apply the PEEL framework: point, evidence, explanation, link. Top students use PEEL to structure their answers. You make your point about the layout tool, provide the evidence of where you used it, give the explanation of how it works, and link it right back to the specific brief. That is how you secure the bag on those written evaluations.
Moving on to Section 2. Processing sequence. This right here is the engine for solving complex layout problems.
All right, what you're looking at is a completely bulletproof, standardized sequence for processing layout tasks. Think of this like your time management matrix. Step 1, identify key elements from the complex data source or brief. Step 2, apply the relevant principles. So deciding, hey, do I need a full grid here or just snapping? Step 3, execute the analysis with clear, documented working. Step 4, verify the results visually. And Step 5, present it in the correct professional format. If you skip around like Sam rushing through and missing command words, the whole thing falls apart. Data interpretation skills are critical here to extract the exact measurements from the exam texts and apply them systematically, one by one.
Stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at Ace the Exams IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to at Ace the Exams IGCSE and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. Right, so let's talk about the method mark strategy. This is an absolute game changer. Listen, examiners alert us constantly about this. Students lose massive amounts of marks simply by not showing their working. Even if your final layout is slightly off-center or the final answer is technically wrong, process marks will literally save your score. Taking screenshots of your grid settings dialog box, showing your guidelines on the screen before you hide them for the final print, those are the essential method marks. You have to prove you understand the code behind the layout.
Let's play Find the Flaw for a second and compare these two approaches. On the left, we have descriptive answers. This is just simply listing the tools used. It's writing I used a ruler and I turned on snapping. That's the Alex approach, and it scores incredibly low. On the right, we have evaluative answers. This is what the examiners are begging for. Higher-order assessment objectives demand that you evaluate alternatives, compare approaches, and justify your recommendations. Identifying limitations, noting your assumptions, and discussing their actual effect on the final product, like explaining why snapping to a grid was vastly more effective than just manually aligning elements with your mouse, that is exactly how you secure those top-tier marks.
Which brings us to Section 3, Examiner Traps. These are the top 3 mistakes that will absolutely cost you marks.
Okay, here's your warning system, straight from past examiner feedback. Trap number 1. Students simply forget to include the proper format. Boom, you immediately lose easy application marks. Trap number 2. Failing to check the format and presentation at the very end of the task. So many people just hit print or save without actually verifying it with their own eyes. And trap number 3, this is a big one, giving answers that are not specific to the context of the scenario. Look, if the scenario is about a local bakery's database interface, your layout choices must relate back to that bakery, not just generic IT theory you memorized the night before.
Let's break down the exact impact of these traps so you can see why they're so devastating. If you miss the proper format, you lose those easy application marks right off the bat, marks you desperately need. If you leave your presentation unchecked, well, you've just failed step 4 of our processing sequence, the visual verification step. Your layout might look completely skewed when printed and you wouldn't even know. And if you provide non-contextual answers, you completely fail the higher-order analysis domains. You miss out on those lucrative cross-topic connection marks we talked about earlier. Avoid these traps, stick to the sequence, and you instantly elevate your grade potential.
Before we wrap up, I want to give you a quick, highly effective memory hack. When you're sitting in that exam room and the pressure is on, your mind can go blank. So create a mnemonic using the first letters of the key terms: rulers, grids, guidelines, snapping. RGGS. Something like really great graphics snap works perfectly. Locking these tools into your memory with a simple phrase ensures that systematically applying them becomes second nature, no matter how stressful the exam gets.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. How exactly will you apply the method mark strategy in your next past paper? Are you going to keep making the same mistakes? Or are you going to start proving your process? Students who implement these computer science strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly videos. Here's your final reminder. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at AceTheExams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to at AceTheExams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. Drop a comment below with your target grade for computer science and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this video with a study partner. Ace the Exams. Your Cambridge success starts here.